Welcome, everybody, to Local Music Sunday Night. I'm Gary Kelley, along with another Gary here tonight, Gary Seiler, a longtime musician in San Diego. You know the guy, with another longtime musician, Bob Monroe, the Monroes. I am honored to be with both of you tonight. How are you?
A treat for us.
Oh, so I thought for this show, this is going to be the first. This is like our pilot. And that hopefully we're going to do this every Sunday night, talk about local music, musicians, people that have lived in San Diego for maybe even a short period of time and then moved away somewhere else. Anything to do with something that touched local music in San Diego. And we are starting with you, our headliner, Bob Monroe. And Bob, I wanted to ask you, I was kind of thinking, since Gary and I both have the same name, Gary, that maybe we would be, what do you think of this? Gary and Gary.
I think that works for me.
Does it have a nice ring to it?
That sounds beautiful.
What do you think, Gary?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm confused. Which Gary am I?
Well, you can be Gary number one. I'll be Gary number two. Where'd your hat go?
Gosh.
You lost your hat.
Honey, I'm number one.
You're both number one to me, so that's fine.
Okay. Well, Bob, let's start with you.
Sure.
The Monroes. What year did you have your huge hit on the radio?
It's 1982.
1982. What was that like for the very first time you heard yourself on the radio, and where were you? What were you doing?
I think we were on the road at that time. So, and I didn't really listen to the radio too much, but I started having people calling me constantly, telling me, hey, I just heard your song. But I think we were on the road with Rick Springfield that year, and I think that's when I heard it, maybe driving through some state on tour. Oh, a great experience,
That's so cool.
Yeah, wonderful thing.
That's my favorite question to ask anybody. Where were you, and what was it like? How about you, Gary?
Well, I haven't had AM/FM airplay at all, but I had a lot of internet stuff. But the coolest thing that keeps happening to me is I got to play on Bora Bora at Bloody Mary's, and I autographed a promo shot for them, and they hung it on this board out in front of the restaurant with Mick Jagger and all these celebrities, and it's still up there. And this was about 18, 19 years ago. Really? And people will be vacationing there, and they'll take a picture with them, a selfie with them, and the picture of me on the wall in front of it. And that is, just like Bobby said, it's so cool, man. When somebody recognizes you for something like that, it's awesome.
Now, you guys have known each other for a long time. Take us back.
Well, gosh, Randy Winchell is the key person. And he was a high school friend of mine. Did he go to the same high school with you part-time too, Bobby?
No, my best friend, one of my best friends was a guy by the name of Tommy Eblin. And I went to school with Tommy since junior high. And Randy is his wife's brother-in-law. Well, also Tommy's. So that's how I know Randy for many, many years. But Gary Seiler was Tommy's probable favorite artist. He said, you've got to hear this guy, Gary Seiler. He goes, you got to hear him. You're going to love him. And I did. But he dragged me out to see you. And I don't remember where you were playing, but that's when it started, the friendship with Gary. And of course, I loved what he did. But Tommy just adored him. And of course, Tommy was my number one fan growing up. It didn't matter what I did. He loved it, and you felt that too from Tom Eblin, who passed in 2019.
So I'm sorry.
It was a big loss.
Tommy loved you, dude. He always talked about getting you and I together. And,
yes.
And
absolutely.
where you were playing. And then I got to hear you at the concert in over by San Diego State.
Yes.
And I was blown away. It felt to me as big as if I was listening to the Beatles, honest to God. You separated yourself from everybody I knew at that concert. And I'm seeing this live and going, this isn't happening. This is four guys. Or five, I forget. It was phenomenal.
Well, I got to tell you, it was wonderful hearing you do your cover act. And of course, you threw in some of your songs. But when I heard Jim Soldi played me your album. When I heard that album, it blew my mind. I said, this guy, I just loved almost every song on that album. I loved. So I gained a new respect for you, my friend.
It's a mutual love fest here, Gary.
It really is.
Gary, can you leave us alone for a while?
Or something.
Yeah, Gary, do you want to go out and get something to eat while we're talking?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Gary, you've been a staple in this town for a long time.
I'm nobody.
Yourself.
I'm just New York. I'm the conductor. I'm leading all this together. And how am I doing so far?
But for many years, and we all know you. You are, you've been a local legend here in this town for a long time on radio, and so it's an honor also to sit with you in the room.
Thank you. Well, we're going to play some Monroes music tonight. I think we have enough time. We've allotted three songs, but you know what? We own the show. We are the show, so we can play as many as we want. We can go on for 24 hours if we want. Let's talk about the first song we're going to play tonight. I'm going to save your big hit for the last one of the night, but what are we going to hear right now? I'll let you introduce it. Tell us a little bit about
which one do you have up there? Which one do you have?
I don't have any of them. You're going to choose it, and I'm going to play it. That's how this works.
Let's play White Lace and Blue Jeans.
You pick it.
White Lace and Blue Jeans is off the Monroes 2.0 album, and one of my faves. This song, I like this song a lot because when I put together these stellar musicians in the Monroes, they all had their own success in their own right. Barry Scott, guitarist from the States, a Chrysalis music act a long time ago, back when I was doing the Monroes, and Ronnie Jones, an Atlantic recording artist. And when I had both those guitarists to play with, I love doing things that I grew up listening to, the Allman Brothers with dual guitars and harmonies, and that really turned me on. And to have two great players like that, and our keyboardist Dave Pomerantz, a lot of my stuff is keyboard heavy, and but really to have these dual guitars going on, and so I used this song as a vehicle for them to do their thing, and you'll hear that in the solo. But White Lace and Blue Jeans.
Well, let's get to it. Local music Sunday night. Here we go.
But fail to find love the few, and they love so sincere. She's white lace and blue jeans. She's both sides of the coin. I always flip, I lose my grip. Cause she's old-fashioned, yet she's hip. She is a lover, she's a friend. She burns a candle at both ends. I love what's in between. She's white lace and blue jeans. There's no other in this world that holds a candle to my girl. She may laugh when I fall down, but she helps me off the ground. She's so beautiful to me, I know she'll always be. She's white lace and blue jeans. She's both sides of the coin. I always flip, I lose my grip. She's old-fashioned, yet she's hip. She is a lover, she's a friend. She burns a candle at both ends. I love what's in between. She's white lace and blue jeans. She's white lace and blue jeans. She's white lace and blue jeans.
Wow, that is a great song, Bob. That is really outstanding. You wrote it?
Yes, I did.
Awesome. Hey, before we leave tonight, I want to talk about your solo career, which is a complete radical departure from the Monroes. When you told me what you were doing, because I'm a country western fan.
Yeah, baby.
My first 8-track tape was 1968, Charlie Pride's Greatest Hits, listening to it in a Ford F-150 in a teardrop camper. And I was hooked. When I heard "Does My Ring Hurt Your Finger" over and over again, I said, man, this is for me.
And me too. Hey, Bobby, let me interrupt. I heard Marty Robbins do El Paso and Devil Woman when I was 5, 6 years old, and I'd never heard anything like that voice. And I'm a country guy. So when I heard Bobby was doing country, I saw the cowboy hat. I just went, yeah.
Well, I grew up, my father was from Louisiana, and he played guitar. And so when I was 5 years old, I would listen to him play, all the Hank Williams Sr. and, the old stuff, not, the vintage country.
Sure.
That's what I was influenced by. And I also had the good fortune in junior high to meet both of Hank Cochran's sons. They went to Clairemont. They were here in Clairemont. And Jim and Hank Jr. Were living in California, and I got the opportunity to be immersed in that world. It was the most important thing to me. And we used to go to Nashville for the summer and stay in Hendersonville. So, and Hank was married to Jeannie Seeley then. And so we got to go to a few Opry shows, and it was a big deal. Hank Cochran flew out, we picked him up, and my mother's favorite song in the world was "Make the World Go Away." And he came to our Arnold. Hank Cochran wrote that, and he came to our house, and my mother was over the moon. She made him coffee, and he gave her a picture of himself. So it was a really great, it was a great background for me, a great history growing up listening to that. So when I write my country now, that's what I have in mind, a new country outside of George Strait. Outside of King George, I listen to mostly the vintage country, and so my writing reflects that.
And how long have you been in this world of vintage country?
I was always in it, but when
now say professionally, where you're recording and people are coming to see you. Kind of
maybe the last 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, only the last 10.
Right. I mean, for most of my life, I wrote the songs back then, but as Gary can relate to all this. When I was 14, the Monkees came out. Everybody wanted to be like the Beatles. So you joined. San Diego was not a big country market. So when I had friends in school, Tommy Eblin, Mike Neese, they've all passed on now. But when you joined a band, Rick Elias, who was in every band I was in. And in fact, there's the story that goes with it used to be the Rick Elias and the Monroes band. So, but there was all rock. And so I told my mom, I'm putting away my acoustic and I'm buying a bass. And, there started my rock career when I was, say, 14, 15.
So are you playing anywhere in the near future? Can we come see you as your vintage country act?
No, right now I'm focusing on the Monroes. I was out there for a little while playing in a few places around town, but then the Monroes, it was hard to split both of them up. So okay. I would love to, I was playing with some great musicians, Joey Amato on guitar, Mike Press on drums, David Bramley, Dave Downhome Bramley on bass. And I did a few gigs, and I would love to do that again. Actually, I'd love to do something with Gary with our country stuff.
Well, let's set it up, and I can introduce you right now.
That would be fantastic.
Okay. Well, it is still my dream that I'm going to be able to get up and play music one day, even if it's one song.
That's easy to do.
And you're invited.
Easy for you to do. But it's a dream of mine. See, I was the guy that had the garage band, when I was 6 years old. Everybody came to my house, had my Woolworth 3995 guitar, and had my Vox little amplifier from 1966. I wish I had that amp today.
Yes, you bet you.
But I can still play the same 5 chords I played in 1966.
That's all there is, Gary. There's only 5 chords.
That's the problem. Well, let's talk music. Monroes, how long you're getting together for the big August 20th show with the all band Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which is how we got together in the first place. Yes, Tell absolutely. Us about the show.
The show is an unofficial reunion that Gary Stemple put together because I believe the 50th is coming up. Mm-hmm. I'm not nearly that old, but
I could have told you that.
Yes. So the 50th is coming up, I believe, in a couple of years. But Gary has decided he really gives back to the Clairemont people. He loves getting entertainers together. And so he approached me with this idea and said, would you be interested in playing for a Clairemont High reunion? I'm going to do it at the Belly Up, and it should be a lot of fun. I said, absolutely. I said, we love performing. So he said, my idea is to get all the musicians that used to play at Clairemont and have them all see how many I could get to join us. And remarkably, they all came out of the woodwork. They all were willing to participate. So people that I haven't seen in 40, 50 years.
Really?
Are all going to be on that stage.
So
we're going to close the show.
I've never met Ronnie Jones, but so he's going to play with your band that night.
Yes.
And he also plays in another band.
With our drummer, Bobby Sale, because in junior high or high school, junior high, they were in a band called Cocoa Blue. And they were a fantastic band. And so I was so excited to hear that he's going to do some Cocoa Blue stuff. And so Bobby and Ronnie will be in Cocoa Blue. And
I heard they have a pretty decent bass player. Is that true?
Jason Sheff, who is probably one of the best bass players in the world and has been playing his father played with Bob Dylan, played bass for Bob Dylan. And Jason has been with Chicago for many, many, many years.
I think 25 years.
Yes. And so probably one of the best in the world. Yes, Jason Sheff.
So I'm excited to get to meet him. So I introduced Jason when he was in a group called the People Movers.
Oh, I remember.
At the Mission Bay Hilton.
Absolutely.
76 or 1977. I introduced him. There was nobody in the room.
I know.
It was just us. And I hung around, watched a couple songs. They were nice as can be. We were all laughing, having fun. And I even wanted to play with him then, just like now. And he was nice as can be. And look what happened to him.
Wasn't a better band anyway. I would go. Bobby and I would go there because he was very good friends with Bobby. They're a little younger than me, so I didn't know Jason from school. But
right.
Bobby would drag me down there. I was playing with a band that Bobby did some recording with Craig Bartok and Rick Elias. Of course, Craig has been the Hearts guitarist for 25 years now. 30 years. But we would go and watch the People Movers, and I would watch Jason, and my mouth would be dropped open. He was a young kid.
Really cool. Let's play some Monroes music. What can we play right now?
How about we play Rosemary's Daughter? It's a rock number that I think shows another side of the Monroes.
Here we go. Local music Sunday night on the voiceofsandiego.com. Yes. So how do you think we're doing on the show so far? Are we doing okay, guys?
I'm doing good.
I'm having a great time.
Hell, he's the one talking the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here having a great time.
I know.
I'm learning more stuff than I ever knew.
I was just going to say that. It's like, it's not the Bob Monroe show.
Oh, this is great.
It
No,
is.
no, you are
the
filling it
featured
in.
You are the featured guest. So when is the last time the Monroes played together?
Well, it was probably a year ago before, when we played last. And then, of course, with COVID, there weren't many, clubs open for business. So we waited it out like everybody else. And, people started doing cover again. What wouldn't you say, Gary? Like a year ago or so? And and we
September last year it really started opening up.
Right. And then there was a few months. Our Bobby Sale, our drummer, was out with the
Simon
and Garfunkel thing. So, we've been biding our time, and now we're ready to. I think this will be kind of get us launched into performing again. Doing this belly up gig was great because we go into rehearsals, and then we're gonna have a blast.
Bob, what year did you graduate Clairemont?
73.
Gosh, you'll always be older than me.
Yes.
Because I'm the class of
Ooh, that makes me the senior member of this group.
Well, actually, I was supposed to be 74, but I got to put ahead a year in earlier on. So that's why I know a lot of people from the class of 74, like Tommy Ablin,
right? And
then people from 73. So Jim Cochran, for instance, we were talking about, he was 73, and his younger brother Hank Jr. or JR was 74. So I kind of bridged. I had a lot of people that were in both those years, so that I became friends with.
Well, do me a favor, introduce your big hit. I played this song when it was brand new on a radio station called KPRI, San Diego's Best Rock. And I hadn't heard it in years. And once we started talking, and I sent you a note this morning that I woke up 2 days ago at 1 o'clock in the morning, and the hook of that song is just playing over and over and over in my head. So on the radio station, the voice of San Diego.com, I've been playing it as a regular record. And I'm getting requests for it. It sounds like it's current. I put it in with the 80s mix. It sounds fantastic. You and the Pet Shop Boys, what am I?
I'm glad.
So good.
Because most of the time now, of course, it still gets a lot of airplay around the country. But, once a song gets put on Muzak, which, I don't know, how current that is. But, I think I had that pleasure one time in I don't know where it was, Coles or something. I heard it and I don't know. But what the funny thing is, I didn't even recognize it at first. I thought, well, I know that song, and it was my own song. So.
But do you get a residual from it?
From Muzak? No, not too much. But still, because it wasn't a digital radio, internet hit. Mm-hmm. I still receive royalties quarterly from ASCAP from regular royalty play. Radio play. So, but for instance, my wife was astounded. We looked on a statement of internet play, and it got over 2 years ago. It got over 1 million plays in the world, and I think I got $28.
Yeah,
nice.
So which is not a surprise. Most musicians know about.
That's almost 3 gallons of gas.
Yeah. Then.
True.
Yeah.
True. Introduce the song for us. Take it away.
Here it is from the Monroes, 1982. What do all the people know?
Right now, I want to introduce to you a San Diego-based band that is making its national television debut with us today. Their new single is called What Do All the People Know? And it's right off this terrific album titled The Monroes. Would you welcome the Monroes?
Tonight, that you could always speak your mind. You work so hard to say what's right. I watch you do it all the time. And when I called you on the phone, you said that I could be the one. But here I'm standing all alone, and you're out lying in the sun. Tell me, am I getting in too deep? Every night I'm talking in my sleep. Lately I'm so confused, I really don't know what to do. Could you be the one I'm thinking of? Could before she let it go. Is it just another day? Should I pretend to play? Tell me, am I getting in too deep? Every night I'm talking in my sleep. Lately I'm so confused, I really don't know what to do. Could you be the one I'm thinking of? Could you be the girl I really love? All the people tell me so, but what do all the people know? All the people tell me so, but what do all the people know? All the people tell me so, but what do all the people know? All the people tell me so, but what do all the people know?
There they are, the Monroes, with their new big single. And we'll come right back.
I can't tell you how great it's been having you on the show, Bob. And Gary,
Thank you.
What a thrill.
Please.
Bob, you are awesome, dude.
Oh,
Gary, you're awesome.
No,
so we're gonna play
Bob
some.
is
We're gonna
awesome.
play some of Gary's stuff.
Yeah, we are going to play some of Gary's stuff. In fact, we can do it tonight.
Let's do it.
Gary, I
I would
wanted to
love-
ask you because Gary and I are feeling each other out and getting used to this and see how everything goes. It had to be really hard for both of you during COVID when you couldn't play.
No,
Really
of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I did several Facebook Live things, and it was weird. Without an audience, I was nervous, like I was going to meet some girl's father that I wanted to ask out. It was horrible.
Really?
Without an audience feedback, you can't look at their eyes, you can't see their foot tapping, you can't see if they're digging you or if they're going, oh gosh.
Right.
And so you sit here in a sterile environment and you just playing, and then you see all these little hearts floating up on the Facebook screen, and you start feeling good about things. But without that instant way to meter yourself, whether you're being successful or not, it was really tough. It was real hard to be not working.
Well, Gary, will you come back and do the show with me forever, not forever and ever now?
Oh, this is going to be a thrill. This is going to be a thrill. And you know what? I want to take the back seat. I want to be Gary number 2, please.
No, I'm sorry. Then I quit. Don't screw with the talent.
Oh my gosh.
Bob Monroe, thank you so very much. I look forward to working with you.
Thank you, sir.
And observing greatness, August 20th, Fast Times, Ridgemont High, the all-school Clairemont High reunion. Tickets are still available, but going fast at eventbrite.com.
Something we're really excited about, Gary, is joining us on stage for August 20th will be Eric Denton and Tony Ortiz from the original Monroes.
All right.
Along with Lori Beebe Lewis from the Mamas and Papas. So it's going to be a great night. It's going to be a great night.
This is a reunion for your band as well, isn't it?
It sure is. It definitely is.
It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait.
Well, Gary, I'm going to talk to you more about that because I think I can make that show. My performance ends at 7:00. So
that would be wonderful. I would love to see
and
him.
I want to see the Monroes. My gosh.
I would love to
coming
see
up August 20th at the Belly Up. I hope everybody gets their tickets. Even if you didn't go to Clairemont, it's going to be a great show. It's going to be a lot of fun. Gary, Bob, thank you so much. God bless you both. Have a great week. Thank you for being our very first local music Sunday night. It is in the can. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Bye.
Good night, Gracie.